Welcome to the highlight special of Cup Match 2021, the 119th annual Cup Match Classic. This was a cup match that many thought would not happen. Bermuda, indeed the world, was in the midst of a pandemic. But in spite of that and all of the challenges that it brings, St. George's Cricket Club, indeed Bermuda, was able to pull off Bermuda's premier sporting event without skipping a beat, with safety and precision. Hello everyone, my name is Sean Tucker and I'm here with Jason Ford and we are your Voice of Summer team. And it is our pleasure to bring you the highlights of this, our annual Cup Match Classic.
Tonight, we will be pleased to welcome St. George's President, Neil Painter, along with Frank Amaral of One Communications. And don't forget, we're going to have the captains, the coaches, and the century maker, Chris Douglas.
All that plus a whole lot more when we come back.
This one's wrapped on his head and he's shaking his head and he gave it out. LBW, George O'Brien has struck again to dismiss Dan
Brady. Channel 82 would like to thank its broadcast partners, Bermuda Healthcare Services, Brown Darrow Clinic, the Department of National Drug Control, YourHSN.com, and Crimson Multimedia.
For more than 30 years, Bermuda Healthcare Services and the Brown Darrow Clinic have provided state-of-the-art diagnostic choices to the people of Bermuda. We were the first facility outside the hospital to establish a full array of imaging services. Under the skillful supervision of Dr. Mahesh Reddy, we offer CAT scanning, ultrasound, echocardiography, X-ray, and MRI scanning. Our team of highly skilled technologists hold outstanding credentials, and our staff will ensure that your visit is comfortable and confidential. If you would like to experience our private care, feel free to let your doctor know. Our CT and MRI results are available from the Leahy Clinic in 24 hours or less. For more information, check our website at bhcs.bm or call us at 236-2810. Building trust, one patient at a time.
I know people my age who smoke. I could easily get some weed if I wanted to, but I made a decision not to smoke. I'm not a follower like that. I have things I want to accomplish. I have a plan, and I don't need anything slowing me down. I need to be in my right mind at all times. I need a clear head. I have a much better chance of making it by not getting high. Think about it. Choose for yourself.
This is a message from the Department of National Drug Control, Prevention Unit.
Good day, Bermuda. My name is Rhonda, and I'm your international spokesperson for YourHSN.com, the newest online marketplace where you'll find all you need for the upcoming holiday season. When you visit our website, be sure to subscribe so that you're the first to receive information on deals and new product arrivals in a variety of categories that cover all of your household, electronic, and fashion needs. We look forward to giving you the best of customer service and would like to welcome you to our online family, YourHSN.com. We're all you need.
Crimson Multimedia is a full-service video production company. We can take your next project from concept to completion. We produce small one-camera setups to complex large-scale multi-camera productions. We offer editing, visual effects, and file transfers. We also broadcast and live stream both free and pay-per-view events. Visit our website at www.crimsonmultimedia.bm for a quote or to contact us. Let Crimson Multimedia film, edit, broadcast, and stream your next event.
Of Hamilton Princess. Les, how are you enjoying your cup match?
Oh, I'm having a great cup match. Happy cup match to you, Michaela.
Thank you so much. So I see Hamilton Princess has a camp for its staff. How's that going?
Oh, it's going great. It's going great. Yesterday was a good turnout. We had about 30 people in here, and then tonight we plan on having a lot more, about maybe 40, 50.
I'm here with North Village Club President Shervin Dill. Mr. Dill, how are you enjoying your cup match?
Oh, I wouldn't have missed it for the world. There's no place in the world that I would rather be than in Bermuda for cup match.
Very excited, and the reason why I'm very excited is that my son was picked for St. George's as a coach.
Amazing.
His name is Jamal Stubble, and he's doing very well today.
Slow ball pitched up and he's out. He's out.
And we're here with Neil Painter, the president of St. George's Cricket Club. Neil, this was a cup match that, by all accounts, we weren't sure initially whether it was going to happen. Then it was on, then it was off, then it was back on. Yes. Challenging to say the least, but by all accounts, I think, from my vantage point, I think it went off without a hitch. That's probably not a viewpoint that you may say that it went off without a hitch because you would have been on the inside, but I'm sure you chalk this up to being an experience, yeah?
Yeah, well, most definitely.
Tell us about your experience.
Probably the most challenging one I've had since being in this position. Simply because from the beginning, because of the pandemic, people weren't sure it was going to be on. We made a decision as a club in January that we were going to put it on, and shared that with Somerset and shared it with the Bermuda public and the government at large. And then as we moved through the pandemic, we had a shutdown. We didn't know what was going on. We put an application in, and it took us up until I believe it was the end of May where we actually got permission to put it on under certain regulations. And then a week later after getting this, we were told by Somerset they weren't going to show up, and then we had another week delay. So it was very challenging, but I'm glad that we was able to pull it off.
So you started in May, effectively, to prepare.
Yeah.
This is an event that you would normally have started to prepare for when?
Actually September. But to be totally honest, we started preparing in January. When I say preparing, behind the scenes.
Right.
Doing all leg work, knowing that what we would have to do if cup match came off. So we were preparing ourselves. The only problem was that we weren't given the okay to really go full steam ahead.
Right.
So behind the scenes, a lot of things were going on. We were doing it, but we didn't know what cup match was going to look like. So in fact, we didn't start truly preparing until May.
Right. Because you didn't know what you were preparing for.
Because we didn't know what we was preparing for. So we prepared for what we thought we were going to do. And then in the end of May, we were told what we can do. So we had to sort of reshuffle the deck, and then we went full steam ahead, and we were ready. We were great. And then we were given a slight curveball, which sort of dampened our spirits. And truthfully, we were at a point where we're like, you know what? We're not going to do this. Yeah. Well, basically what it looked like was, were we going to have scaffolding? What type of sponsors we were going to have? Was HSBC going to be on? Did we have a team sponsor? How are we going to get our infrastructure ready? So within that end of May, all those things we had to push in within 6 weeks. So we knew what we wanted to do in January, but like we said, because we didn't have the go ahead, we were like, okay, are we going to do this? Are we going to do this to our club? Are we going to have scaffolding? Do we just have tents? And then once we were given the okay, we made a decision as a club that we can do some limited scaffolding, and behind the scenes, it was frantic. Talking to the scaffolding people, then decided how we're going to get vendors. Usually we put it out to tender. We decided, no, we're going to call them individually and find out if they want to come on board. And then that's how we did it with our vendors, and then deciding how we're going to divvy out the spots. We made a decision that, all those members from Somerset and St. George's who've had a spot in the past, we'll give them first right of refusal. Once they said they weren't going to do it, then we'll go to the next, and so on and so forth. So that's how we got it going. And fortunately, we sold all our spots.
Then Somerset decided they weren't going to participate.
Yeah.
And at that stage, did you believe, or did you and your management believe that that was it? Or did you still believe that there was some hope that this was still going to happen?
Well, when I got the message at 11 p.m. on that night, it was like someone just stabbed you. Like, it's like, you know, you're gung-ho, you feel good, it's a feel-good factor, you're ready to go, and then someone says, pulls it, rug from under your feet. It's like, you know, we met the next day and we were like, you know, do we really want to do this, man? Because when you build up for something and you're ready to go, and then someone just takes it away from you, it's like, we were deflated. But then we waited 24 hours and we met again, and it's like, you know what? We have to do this, man. We're gonna find a way to get this done. And we need to have a press conference, let the public know how this materialized, and let the chips fall where they may. And that's basically what happened. Let's be honest, the only reason why we did this, seriously, was for Bermuda. Because we didn't need this headache. And we said that when Somerset said no, we were like, you know what? I can go fishing. People can take trips. But we said, no, man, we have a responsibility, not only to St. George's Cricket Club, but to the country at large. We lost it last year, unfortunately, to the pandemic. And we felt that if the government was allowing us to do it, let's do it. Because if government would have told us we could not do it, could you imagine the discourse that had been happening in this country right now?
Tell us a bit about your infrastructure at your club and the support that your management and membership provided to make this go off.
Yeah, in 6 weeks, we done more in 6 weeks with less people, seriously, from an infrastructure point of view, than we've done in like 9 months before. Our club and everything was painted within 2-3 weeks, so that we can now focus on getting the scaffolding up. So it's like, it just showed the resolve, not so much of St. George's people, but of Bermudians. Because it wasn't just our members who were assisting us in this, you know. It was people that were coming. I had calls saying, Neil, what you guys need? I'm glad Cup match is on. I may not even show up, but guess what? Because you're putting it on, we're gonna give you some assistance. You know, so it was tremendous. It just showed what uniquely Bermuda is about and what Cup match is uniquely about. You know, we come together after 363 days, not seeing each other, and for 2 days, we come together as if we haven't been apart. You know, so it was tremendous. Like, and it almost scares me, because it almost says, well, next time Cup match is around, oh well, we can wait to the last minute.
Yeah,
you know, and I don't want that to happen, but
we'll take it for granted.
Just showed that if what under trying circumstances, what we can do. So just imagine under perfect, I would say not perfect, but good circumstances, what we can accomplish and get things done for Cup match.
I just want to say thank you and your committee, because what you guys done in that short amount of time, also giving the confidence to the players to actually play the game, because I heard a lot of rumbles of some guys not wanting to play the game, to go through all the protocols, the testings and stuff like that. And it seemed like that went off without a hitch, because I was down there one night when they came down to test the boys, and everybody just fell into place, do what you got to do. And so I don't know how you guys pulled it off, how you convinced everybody else, the team, but I just want to say thank you guys, because without you guys, we would not have Cup match.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's like Cup match is an honor. You know, I've been doing this just as president for 20 years, but I've been involved in committee much longer than that, just from the grassroots, and also represented St. George's as a footballer. Didn't play much cricket. Once he shall youth league ended. Once he shall, I'm touching my friend.
That's right.
We're in a picture together.
That's right.
Once he shall youth league, I was like, you know,
under 12.
That was enough. But no, it's you know, my thing is, why wouldn't any Bermudian not want Cup match to happen?
Yeah.
And if we are able to have it happen on any scale, let's make it happen. So it was important that we put it on and show them that we're resilient and we're going to make it happen for the next 200 years.
So in saying that, how are you looking at giving Somerset the template? Because now you guys have a template. What is that template looking like, and what is the conversation with Somerset to make sure that we pull it off again next year, no matter what?
Yeah. Well, we haven't had a conversation with Somerset, obviously, after this Cup match, but St. George's Cricket Club is always willing to share that information, and it's important that we do share it, because Cup match is more important than St. George's Cricket Club. We cannot hold this information to ourselves. We must impart this information to ensure that this event goes on. And St. George's Cricket Club didn't get where it is today, right, on its own. You know, we've had people come before us, we've shared information with other clubs, they share with us, so it's important that we work with Somerset to ensure that they have Cup match on. But it's going to be a lot of work. So they need to be ready, and they can be assured that St. George's Cricket Club will show up, irregardless of whether it's a pandemic, If they decide that they're going to have a cup match, we will be there.
We've been talking with Neil Painter, the president of St. George's Cricket Club, and by all accounts, to anyone who was there, anyone who wasn't there, had the opportunity to watch Cup Match on television here on Channel 82 or listen to it on the radio, it was a resounding success. And to Neil, you and your committee, everyone, all the membership of your club, you deserve our heartfelt congratulations and thanks for putting on a first-class event. It was spectacular. There's nothing like Cup Match. We always say that it's the best of Bermuda, and you did it without a hitch, and you deserve our heartfelt congratulations. Thank you on behalf of all of us.
Thank you, and thank you, Bermuda.
He's bold, Mabry is bold, Greg Mabry is clean bold. Wilson scars it in the air and he is dropped. He's dropped. An extra cover. Wilson scars this one in the air is being chased by the fieldsman out there. And that is allowed him, and he's bold.
HSBC's My Savings account helps young people's money grow. For 7 to 17-year-olds, it's their own bank account for their own money, with no fees, monthly interest, and a quarterly bonus interest. An HSBC My Savings account gives young people the financial tools they need to help them move towards achieving their goals. Visit HSBC or sign up today at hsbc.bm/mysavings.
Ready to take your business to the next level? If you've been in business for at least 3 years and have at least one employee besides yourself, then apply to the BEDC's Enterprise Bermuda Accelerator to get hands-on training, networking, and industry support. Applications open now through September 30th. Log on to bedc.bm to learn more. BEDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
Have you always wanted access to treatments used by the most popular Hollywood celebrities? Looking for a better way to remove unwanted hair, achieve a more youthful appearance, and create a contoured physique? Spa Medica, Bermuda's premier med spa, is here to help. Visit us and enjoy a relaxing experience at our newly renovated facility located at North Shore Medical and Aesthetic Center. In addition to a board-certified clinical massage therapist who specializes in improving circulation, promoting relaxation, injuries, stress, and pain relief, we have a qualified licensed clinical esthetician who will enhance body contouring, give soothing facials, chemical peels, microdermablation, laser lipo, skin tightening services, and remove unwanted hair and acne. And don't forget, we specialize in Botox injections, dermal fillers, and other aesthetic treatments that will enhance your skin and overall appearance. Aim to look and feel refreshed. Give Spa Medica a call, and we'll create the look you've always wanted. For appointments, please call 441-293-5476.
How is Aretha doing? Aretha's doing alright.
Vava Entertainment Limited presents an encore VIP screening of the blockbuster hit movie Respect, starring Jennifer Hudson as Aretha Franklin, with a special tribute performance featuring Bermuda's First Lady of Soul, Sister Sheila J. Smith and the Soul Sisters, accompanied by the unit band with guest musicians Raymond George and Sister John A. Ferber. Screening of this event will take place at the Media Lounge located in Dockyard on Thursday, August the 26th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $80 and available exclusively from Vava at 338-8029. Part proceeds to benefit the Bermuda Entertainment Union. As this is a Safe Key event, all patrons must provide Safe Key documentation, and masks are required when not eating, drinking, or seated.
She's that bigger. Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Welcome back. We're talking with Frank Amaral, the president and CEO of One Communications. Frank, Welcome to our Cup Match special.
Glad to be here.
One Communications were provided the backbone of the entire broadcast for everyone who wasn't able to actually be there. Many may not realize that One Communications provided the backbone for the radio broadcast, the television broadcast, the live stream, and that was particularly important this year because the numbers were reduced, and so for those who were not able to be there, One stepped in and played a particularly integral role. And so on behalf of everyone, first of all, I want to say thank you, and just tell us a bit about what you actually did at One Communications.
Well, I mean, first of all, it was a pleasure to step in and help the club and get the game televised. As we all know, Cup Match is probably the most iconic sporting and cultural event on the island. So, it was pretty important that it was aired for the reasons that you just said. And I think over time now, Cup Match has taken on, additional meaning in the community, right? It's not just about, going to watch some cricket, eat some food. It's about celebrating freedom. And I think also recognizing the fact that as a community, we still have a long way to go, right, in dealing with discrimination and equal rights. So
that is the biggest event on our sporting calendar. Well, Frank, on behalf of everyone at Cup Match, everyone who was not at Cup Match, everyone who was touched by the generosity of One Communications, we want to say a very special thank you. You were the backbone that made sure that this match was passed to everyone who was there, everyone across Bermuda, and everyone in the world who was able to experience Bermuda's premier sporting classic. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you once again. You guys did a fantastic job.
And we appreciate the opportunity, and I'll pass a message on to my team in case they don't watch this on 82.
Please do.
Well, hold on. You just mentioned your team, Frank. So I want to say thank you for your guys, because we dealt with a lot of the guys with the technical side. And most of the guys you sent down were for St. George's for some reason. I don't know. If he was in St. George, you sent St. George's guys down there. Now, is that coming straight from the man himself? Is he for St. George's or Somerset? Because you are sitting on the Somerset side of the table.
Well, that's rather unfortunate. But as a Smith's Parish resident, by default, I am a St. Joe supporter, right? So I think that was just a matter of luck with Mr. Fox and the rest of the team showing up there. So
I want to thank you guys for showing up, because you know what, they had a rough year, but hopefully he comes back next year to help us out again.
We all hope.
We live in hope.
If you're a St. George's fan, you live in hope. You're totally right.
Well, thank you, Frank. Thank you once again.
No problem.
It's in the air and he could be out. He's out. He is out. He lobs this ball right into the hands of Nairobi Mills. It looked like a non-shot. And now he's out.
Channel 82 would like to thank its broadcast partners, Bermuda Healthcare Services, Brown Darrow Clinic, the Department of National Drug Control, YourHSN.com, and Crimson Multimedia.
Being cool is one thing, but I do not have to do what everyone else is doing. I can do my own thing. I do not want to smoke weed. I can be different. My little brother and sister look up to me. Like when I do good, they want to do good. I've realized that what I do can influence their future. I've never thought of myself as a role model, but you never know who wants to be like you. You never know who's watching, so you have to watch what you're doing.
This is a message from the Department for National Drug Control, Prevention Unit.
COVID can't stop you from indulging in a good grease. If you missed it last year, Taste of Bermuda Drive-In Experience is returning this year for a bigger celebration of Bermuda cuisine. This unique culinary experience is returning to Parleyville Car Park September 24th to the 26th. Each night will feature more food samples, live-action culinary stations, grand prize giveaways, culinary demonstrations on the main stage, a double header of films, and even more dynamic vendors. Food and beverage will also be available for purchase. Entry to the event requires a receipt valued at $25 or more per car from any city eatery between August 26th and September 26th. This event is open to vehicles only. The city can't wait to share this one-of-a-kind experience with you. Social distancing and mask wearing required.
Hamilton, Bermuda at its best.
Ready to take your business to the next level? If you've been in business for at least 3 years and have at least one employee besides yourself, then apply to the BEDC's Enterprise Bermuda Accelerator to get hands-on training, networking, and industry support. Applications open now through September 30th. Log on to bedc.bm to learn more. BEDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
I'm here with Jason Sugdeo. Jason, what does Cup Match mean to you?
What Cup Match means to me is togetherness.
Well, so Tay, how's Crown and Anchor for you today? How's it going?
Making money. Look. I'm about to go drop some money to my woman. I'm gonna make sure my lady's all right so she can play. And after that, I'm coming back, make some more money, yeah? Yeah.
David, BCA's camp is full, it's busy, it's a vibe. Tell us all about how it's going.
It's going really, really well. Everyone's excited. Being COVID the past 18 months or so, it's really the first time that everyone's had an opportunity to let loose in a safe environment and enjoy the great festivities of Cup Match.
I'm here in the Jones Wade camp. You guys, watch your team. Watch your team. Oh, Lord. Somerset, really? That's what we're doing? Somerset?
Presence of Mr. Thomas Ball. Yes, as Chris Douglas is skied this one in the air, and he is out. He's out. Chris Douglas. And welcome back. We are talking with Onias Bascom, the captain of St. George's Cricket Club's Cup Match team. Onias, your first Cup Match. What are your takeaways from your first Cup Match as captain?
Oh, it was a learning experience. It was a lot to take away from the game. Also myself, it's a lot for me to go back and do a lot more studying of the game, sharpening my skills up.
What's the thing that kept you up at night more than anything else in the lead up to Cup Match? What was the biggest point of pressure for you in the lead up to Cup Match?
The biggest point, firstly, was McCoy Simmons getting injured. That was he just came off scoring 92 for St. David's and Connie, and has just been so focused. His look good all season, has been hitting the ball clean, and that was just a touching point right there that kind of, it didn't disrupt anything at the end because we still had everyone putting in the work and tuned in, but it was a hurting feeling to know that he was going to miss Cup Match this year.
The first morning, what's your first thoughts going into the game? You have a role as a batsman, as a player, and as a captain. What's predominant in your mind?
Firstly, it was just keeping everyone tuned in, keeping everyone focused.
How hard was that?
It's hard when you're dealing with, a bunch of men that, live different lifestyles. It's tough in Bermuda being amateurs and trying to come together and be in a professional environment and show so short of a time. But, I accepted the challenge, and it was a challenge, but overall, I feel like I dealt with it well. I feel like we was very positive going into the game. It was good spirits around the camp, and yeah, it was a good feeling.
So day one, you won the toss and you elected to bat. So many circles, that was a surprise. Tell us the rationale or what was in your mind when you decided to bat first after winning the toss.
Oh, when I decided to bat, that was the game plan. I mean, if you look at the last cup match in 2019, we got the good start, we set a good total, and we wasn't far off this year. I feel like we got the start, we won it. We was 130 for
115 for 3.
115 for 3. You know, we got off to a good start with a lot of bad indie shit, and I just feel like certain individuals didn't apply themselves and put their head on and bet, and I feel like that's where we lost the game, when we had that breakthrough that Somerset got, and we lost so much wickets and without scoring any runs.
And then the declaration at 150 for 8, that also surprised some people. And what was your motivation for that, or what was your rationale behind it?
I mean, it was 150 for 9, 150 for 9.
Yeah, 150 for 9.
And
That's right.
I mean, I just felt like we had to try and get on the front foot as soon as possible. I mean, with Isaiah Greaves coming in as a coach, who came in to build, I didn't want to put any added pressure on him or throw him out to the wolves and just kind of unstable him before he went to do his job. And I felt like it was the right thing to do. I didn't think that it would have damaged our score or him contributing. Because his ability, his picking the team to build. And I felt like even in 2005, my old man always told me, when he didn't let George O'Brien build, he told him, look, you didn't come here to bet. Came here to build. Put your spikes on and let's go out on the field.
Well, Anais, let's go to day one. Walking out to the field, obviously not as many people as you normally see a cup match, but just that feeling, you leading the team, walking out. How did it feel for you personally?
Personally, it was a proud moment, like especially having all the people I grew up around at the field, being in St. George's, my first time captain. It was just a proud feeling. Like I was over the moon. And I walked out to take the tour, so it just felt amazing.
Then you won the tours.
Yeah, then I won it. So, I got to do what I wanted to do, Yeah. I mean, not everyone agreed with the decisions I made, but that's what I stuck to, and that's what I chose to do.
So let's talk a little bit about the game, because the early session, the first hour, you guys got up on top pretty quick.
Yeah.
You were scoring pretty freely. And then, I think it was a rain stoppage or the water break came in. Things sort of changed when Somerset probably looked at, they assessed the wicket and changed the bowlers around a bit. Changed Malachi around and Kamal around and started hitting the spots and started actually building stump to stump. I mean, you guys got off to a 37-run partnership up front. Then you and your brother put on a good partnership, a 50-run partnership. Before we talk about what's that felt like? Because, how many brothers actually got together and pulled off a nice partnership and cup match? What did it feel like? Especially, you being the young one.
Yeah, it felt good. It felt real good. Especially for one day, like, I feel like when we back together, like, he always tries to keep me intact and keep me focused, And being out there at the wicket with him, it was a good feeling, especially both of us actually being able to score some runs. I mean, it didn't go the way we wanted. Like, I hope both of us could have got half centuries and even went on to get centuries, but that's cricket.
Now, you obviously batting first, obviously want to take the aggressive mindset and take the game to Somerset. But it seemed like once you in a run day, wickets fell, the game slowed up quite a bit and the run rate dropped and was taking time, even though there's stoppage. But was that something you was concerned about? Because you got out, I think, just before break.
Yeah.
Well, just for lunch, was it?
Yeah, just before lunch.
Just for lunch, yeah.
20 minutes before lunch.
Yeah. What was there going into lunch? What was the plan to come out of lunch? Because, you know what you got in the shed to come to, but you guys, you had to still take the game to Somerset.
Yeah, and when I got out, I mean, it kind of went our way when Detroit went in and he lasted to lunch, so we didn't actually lose another wicket.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of hoping that maybe him and Runday could have went on a little longer, but with Runday getting out, it kind of, like, that was the one that we needed to go do.
Right.
Runday was the set batsman. He needed to go all the way and lose wickets from the other end.
Right.
And I feel like maybe even if we still had the senior batsman and Runday at the crease when maybe Allen came, then it could have maybe tuned him in a bit. But, it's cricket is a funny game, man.
How was that losing Allen so early?
It's always
on the day he can light up the board, but I think
he's a game changer.
Yeah.
Like, he's a game changer. When he's on, everyone knows. Like, he's the prettiest batsman to watch at times in Bermuda. But hey, it's cricket. It happens.
Right. So end of day one, how did you think? Obviously, with you declared, then Somerset got off. Big partnership up front.
Yeah.
Chris ended the day off for 98. Looked like he was stuck in. Day one. What was the talk with the boys?
Well, when we got back to the hotel, we were still confident in trying to create a game out of it because we knew that it only took to get Chris's wicket. Like I felt like, they had a lot of other batsmen to come, but they have a lot of batsmen that will give you that chance up front. As Bermuda cricket, the wickets are not playing as good because it hasn't been as much cricket. But then you got a special talent like Chris Douglas, who's just unbelievable. He can, on any given day, he can just take a game away from you, and that's what he done.
The few things that pointed out to me when we was going over our stats throughout the game, obviously, open bowler, Justin.
Yeah.
Only bowling 4 overs.
Yeah.
Early, and then also the Colt, only bowling 4 overs. I was questioning at the time. I believe Dean questioned a few times, but then when you had Picnic holding down the side and George taking wickets, they had to be running through your mind.
Yeah,
you want to rotate these guys, but when do you rotate them?
It got to a point where it's like they was bowling good, and it was working for us, and the wicket was assisting them, especially with having Picnic to hold that end up, getting the batsman to play at George more. George is gonna put it to his experience. He knows he can do it. You know what I'm saying? I trust him that he could have continued, and that's what I done. I mean, with Justin, it happens. It's cricket. Like, the wicket was assisting George at the time, and then even when I came on and bowled at one end, the wicket was assisting me more, and that's what we went with.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that a young captain, and people don't realize, captains have to make all these decisions, not only to split the men, but also think 5 overs down, 10 overs down.
Think ahead of the game.
How was you being, like I said, a new captain, working along with the experienced players you do have in your team, like George and put in these guys, and even Orande?
Yeah, one thing about these guys do help me a lot, and one thing I listen and I gain knowledge from them, especially like guys like you said, Picnic and Rodney, my brother, George. These guys, the captain teams before, they've been there, you know what I'm saying? And I just look to gain as much knowledge as I can off of them, as well as sticking to my guns at times and going with my first instincts and decisions.
Now, so let's put this cup match to bed, because it's been a couple of convincing victories from Somerset. Obviously, you've been a part of it.
Yeah.
You saved one up Somerset that, it almost felt like a victory for St. George, even though it was a draw. But that century you scored up Somerset, that they was looking for 2-1 in that one also.
Yeah.
So, but in saying that, now, cup match to bed, you guys are making quite a bit of changes now. You are the captain of the future.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's pegged you to be. You are the captain of the future.
That was my goal, to be like.
So what do you think? What would be your wish list right now going forward? Because obviously you're in a transitional state as far as a team, picking players, where you're getting players from, the type of team you want. What would be a wish list for a nice batsman? Will you want more batsmen? You want more bowlers? Will you want more rounders? Like, what would be your wish list?
I mean, it's hard to say exactly what you need, but I just feel like right now what we need dedicated cricketers. Like, we need cricketers that's coming to focus on cricket and bring the youth through, because it's a developing stage, and I feel like even with picking 2 coats this year, I feel like I need a pick for the future and create a team, because it's not too much to pick from in Bermuda at the time. There's a lot of talent out there, but it's not where we want it to be.
You more of dedication to training and the things off the field, or is
everything
it more
just to upholding a certain standard of your outside life, outside of cricket? Because us as cricketers in Bermuda and us as athletes in Bermuda were the celebrities of the country. We have to hold ourselves to a certain standard, even when just walking around in the town, and I just feel like once we get to that level of respecting the game and respecting ourselves more, we can improve our game, But it's hard right now, because it's like, with COVID and stuff like that, you can't, like, the youth ain't really out there, and it's just different times right now. But once we get through this, I mean, like even if the national program and stuff, like we need to start pushing our youths more and start putting on more programs and stuff. I feel like, because cricket's kind of falling back. Like, yeah, even look at the league standards, and we need to try to do more things to try and bring cricket back in Bermuda, because that's gonna improve cup match.
In saying that, we're during this time of the pandemic, and obviously that's been the protocols that obviously go into a game. We're not sure what's going to happen next year.
Yeah.
But what are you telling your players or future players, regardless of where we are as a country as far as the pandemic, as far as playing for St. George's? What are you telling for future players right now?
Just put in the work. Keep focused. Train as much as possible. If you're a bowler, get 6 balls, build overs consistently. If you're a batsman, find someone to give you throwdowns. If someone wants to see you get better and see you improve yourself, I'm pretty sure they'll throw you a couple tennis balls, 2 nights a week, even in the off season.
So now, let's talk about standards. We saw some events happen throughout the game that we probably wasn't proud of. You on the field, let's talk about a couple of them. The Terran Frey incident. Initially, when we saw it in live action, there was appeal for a ball that was, the ball was above, or could have been deemed above waist height. Frey had hit the ball's caught, and what we saw initially was him gesturing to the square leg that it might have been too high.
So you tell us your take.
Tell us what your take on that whole situation.
You tell us your take on the whole incident.
We got told a whole different story throughout that evening and the next day or whatever.
Oh, my take on it, he got out, he ran off the field, and he came back. But, I mean, the situation with the Band-Aid coming off of Justin's arm, I mean, he didn't complain about it on the field. He never complained about it before.
Do you think he was aware of it though?
He might
initially.
He might have been aware of it, but I don't know if he was aware of probably the rule of it being a dead ball now. Because if you're aware of it, why go off the field to come back? And
see that for me is and far be it for me to provide commentary at this stage, but for me, the infrastructure, once you're off the field, then there's no infrastructure or no rule that allows you to come back and appeal. The infrastructure is not there to allow for a third umpire to make a decision, to allow you to appeal it and come back. So if you're off the field, then you're out.
Yeah, and that's where we have to uphold ourselves and show some positive and create a good character about ourselves, because that's not a good look on a youngster who's watching the game. They're probably wondering why this guy come back on the field, and then what happened, an incident is that's caused all of that, and it's not a good look. We have to respect the game a bit more and show the kids of the future, because like I said, we gotta make cricket better in Bermuda.
You mentioned that because now you are the captain of St. George's. But you're getting around to these cricket camps, and these young kids are looking up to you. I mean, how much do you are a role model now? How much does that play on your mind when you're on the field? Because you see some guys feel like they just they don't even think about that. Does that actually go through your mind?
Of course, you have to. That goes through your mind more than you think, because sometimes you want to get heated because it's when you're on the field, it's war. It's war out there, but you have to compare yourself because you're leading the ship, and you can't stray off, because that's gonna allow other people on your ship to stray, and they're gonna feel as though it's cool to do that.
Right.
So you gotta try to keep them intact and try to be the level-headed person.
Well, let's go to the ending of the match, because what a bizarre ending it was. The ball that got hit to the boundary, and the fans came running on, and the ball didn't make it to the boundary, and then by the time Kamal got down the other end, said, "Hey, you got to run." By the time I believe it was LJ ran up the other side, there was no stumps in the ground.
LJ had pulled these stumps before he ran.
So. For you as a player to see all that commotion, man, what was that trying to even get the guys together to, hey, we got to go back up there and play for one more ball?
Well, my players were on the field. They was aware of the situation. So at the end of the day, if they don't get this run, the game's not over. You know, it was a draw match. But, you know, in all due respect, they came back, they got the run, and it was over after we found the stumps, because, you know, when the game ends, stumps go missing. So, yeah, we ended up getting a couple stumps, and
I mean, I vividly remember Sean was just saying, look, if they don't come back, the game's upended. We cannot be here for 2 days in the rain, the sun, the wind, what been through all the elements.
And that's exactly what would have happened. It would have been
abandoned like this.
Yeah, and it was crazy because I saw the ball, and most people probably would have thought it went for 6, but because the wind was a bit strong, it just held it, and as soon as it hit the ground, it just stopped.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And Kamal realized it as well. Kamal realized it. He picked up on it a bit late, but...
We're talking with Onias Bascom, the captain of St. George's Cricket Club's Cup Match team, on the heels of the 2021 Annual Cup Match Classic. Thank you, Onias, for joining us.
That's no problem.
We'll be right back.
To pull it together in 5 weeks, that takes something 9 months. Unbelievable. And for us, we're simply proud to be a part of it. Right on the way to Onias Bascom. Bascom fixes one off the pad. He's coming in the air. He could be out. He is out. He is out. Detroit Smith down on one knee and sweeps that one right over the mid-wicket boundary for 6.
Since 2006, HSBC colleagues in Bermuda have volunteered more than 15,000 hours to our community. In 2020, the bank donated over $450,000, supporting 12 local charities. $180,000 of these funds were allocated to charities, which continue to provide critical essential services and relief to those members of our community impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. We are pleased to be partnering with Age Concern, Center Against Abuse, PALS, Women's Resource Center, the Eliza Doolittle Society, the Coalition for the Protection of Children, and the Family Center.
As we work together to strengthen our economic and societal health during this time of uncertainty, HSBC Bermuda recognizes the importance of its contribution and role in helping to rebuild our community. We thank all of our charities, staff volunteers and corporate partners for their infinite efforts and continuous commitment to rebuilding our community.
Are you embarrassed by hair loss, dry or flaky scalp, suffering from thinning or damaged hair? Well, Salon B, Bermuda's only hair and scalp disorder clinic, is here to help by using a wide range of clinically proven treatments that will address all your hair restorative needs. We invite you to visit us for a consultation with our certified hair treatment specialist, which begins with a detailed scientific hair and scalp exam, followed by treatment services with our award-winning researcher and physician, Dr. Kaiwan Brown. At Salon B, we also provide haircuts, trims, colors, perms, highlights, and styling, all geared to clients suffering from hair loss or a variety of other scalp disorders. For your comfort and privacy, all treatments are performed one-on-one in a private and relaxing treatment room. To begin growing that beautiful head of hair you've always wanted, please schedule your appointment today. To make arrangements or receive more information, call 441-293-5476.
Crimson Multimedia is a full-service video production company. We can take your next project from concept to completion. We produce small one-camera setups to complex large-scale multi-camera productions. We offer editing, visual effects, and file transfers. We also broadcast and live stream both free and pay-per-view events. Visit our website at www.crimsonmultimedia.bm for a quote or to contact us. Let Crimson Multimedia film, edit, broadcast, and stream your next event.
Ready to take your business to the next level? If you've been in business for at least 3 years and have at least one employee besides yourself, then apply to the BEDC's Enterprise Bermuda Accelerator to get hands-on training, networking, and industry support. Applications open now through September 30th. Log on to bedc.bm to learn more. BEDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
This one is goal. He is bold. He is bold. LJ Richardson is bold.
And welcome back. We are talking with Wendell Smith, the coach of St. George's Cricket Club. Wendell, this has been an interesting cup match campaign on many levels. Cup match was on, it was off, it was on again. But even before that, we didn't even know if we were going to have a season. How difficult was that in motivating, or what role did that play in motivating your players to prepare for the game?
Well, we did want to have cup match, as you know. Our president was very passionate and spoke to the members twice and let us know their intentions. And then obviously it was off periodically when Somerset said they weren't going to play. But once it was back on, we put a lot of things in motion. I was proud of the fact that we held 3 trials. Normally, the last few years, both teams have just had the final trials, but this year we actually had 3, which helped us to iron out a few kinks. And we had a number of players, actually, a lot of young, talented players that we got to look at, particularly from other jurisdictions. And I'm talking about Cleveland, Flats, a couple of players, a few Bayless Bay youngsters. So that was encouraging. And as far as motivating our players, I think what really motivated a number of them was the fact that they knew there were places available. Lionel Can obviously retired. OJ Pitcher was unavailable, and then we had the injuries to Mackay and Treddy. So they knew that at least 3 or 4 spots had to be filled. So that there was an impetus by the players on willingness to come out. We actually had 21 at one session and 23 guys at another that week before the final trial, because they figured, hey, if I perform, I could get a spot.
So you had 2 absences. You had Mackay Simmons and Treadwell Gibbons, as you said. How significant was their absence, do you think?
Well, I don't believe in making excuses to say, well, if we would have had them, it would have been different, because the truth is, it was an opportunity for other players to step up. You know, cup match is a time you want to showcase your talent. So for other people who were given that chance, and that's something my brother Clay spoke about in a very passionate speech once about to a number of our players about, seize this opportunity to show Bermuda what you can do. So they were significant misses. However, we still felt confident that we had players who were capable.
So tell us a bit about Clay's role. Clay is your assistant coach?
That's correct. I asked him to step on board once I realized that he was over his aneurysm and his medical condition was fine. I spoke to him about 3 weeks before cup match, and when I heard the speech he gave to all of the prospective candidates, I said it's time to let him take over this role, because it was really a powerful speech, so much so that Freddie Hall, the footballer, as I was telling you before, said, man, you made me feel like coming out and playing cup match to Clay. And then he sent me emails about all the prospects in England, throughout Bermuda, all the pace bowlers, all the spinners, all the young players. And then the week when I was sitting down to plan out the options of cup match, if we batted or fielded first, the time allocations and what our targets would be, I look on my email and there it was. He had everything laid out, time, and I still actually bought it just so people could see, because folks might think, oh, St. George's lost, so Wendell's stepping down. But I realized that sometimes in sports, a fresh face can make a difference, because they hear the same person coaching. And it's been 3 years now. I figured a fresh face would be something that St. George's could use. But I don't intend to step aside, because there's some really promising young players that I want to help with their development. So I'll be there to help them out.
You've made at least 5 changes almost in the last few cup matches. What is it like for the selection committee? Because you're getting these players in. Obviously, you're seeing them in these training, and you don't have the formula right as you like it right now. But to make the hard decisions, because obviously you want to take, at the time, the best 11 players you got, but you're seeing that it's not working out as far as the formula. What is that formula looking like for St. George's right now? Because I think you would say Somerset's got the formula that they want right now.
Well, Somerset don't need to make many changes to the team. And as you see in the last 5 or 6 years, they only maybe make 1 or 2, and perhaps they're forced changes.
Yeah.
So for those players on the outside, they're going to have to wait to make Somerset's team. In our case, we were forced to make at least 3 to 4 changes with the retirement of Lionel and OJ's injuries, and then the other 2 injuries. We had to make 4 changes. So from a selector's point of view, you basically just want to balance your side, having, 4 bowlers, maybe 3 pacers and a spinner, or 2 spinners, 2 pacers, or maybe even 5 if they're all-rounders, a wicketkeeper and the batsman. But the key thing is your batsmen have to produce. Mm-hmm. And that's what's not been happening for us. I mean, we were blessed 2 years ago where we batted first, scored 297. Mm-hmm. But the thing that went wrong that year, we dropped 7 catches. Yeah. So I made a point to put that right this year. We took some outstanding catches. Alan Douglas had a phenomenal catch, dove in one-handed. Rodney tried to have a diving catch on a return catch. Anais had that skyer that he took. Reminiscent of Lionel Kent's drop catch, remember the year before?
Yes.
I mean, a mile up in the air, speaking metaphorically, and Anais took that, and then we had Dion Stubble caught at point. So the fielding was good. One thing a lot of people may not notice is that take Chris Douglas's 128, say even 130 almost that he scored, out of Somerset's innings, the rest got 150. They got 280. So if you would have noticed, once we got through him, we went through the rest fairly well. So I was pleased about that aspect.
Let's talk about the preparation of the grounds, especially the pitch itself, because obviously I remember back when Gennaro, his last cup match, and him and the groundsman basically made a pact together what type of wicket he wanted.
Up at Somerset.
Well, you remember. It was, and he took advantage of it.
Right.
Obviously, with the lack of time, cup match on, off, did you guys have much talk with the groundsman? Because I don't think the wicket really assisted the bowlers like you would have wanted them to on the day.
That's a very good point. An excellent point, actually. We should have taken more advantage of home field with the groundsman. We actually had an emergency meeting with the groundsman out on the wicket prior to cup match. A lot of people don't know this, because we didn't want the wicket rolled as much as it was rolled. When you look at how it played on the first day, it was assisting the batsman. And people might have wondered, why did St. George's bat? But the state of the wicket was such that on the western end it was dry and it was already cracking. So we knew on the second day it would turn, it would maybe bounce, and maybe some that would shoot. So we had to take advantage of that wicket on day one and make as many as we could. The last cup match, like I said, we got 297. On this, we were 115 for 3. Look, right where we wanted to be. Well, actually, had we not had 2 rain stoppages, we might have had more, obviously, right? And Sean asked a good point earlier, too, about did the rain affect us? It did, in that prior to that first rain stoppage, we were going along wonderfully. And I was just looking over at Somerset, and they may come across as, oh, everything went according to plan, but you could see they were not expecting that, and they probably were a little alarmed. We still had Anais in and Alan Douglas to come, and a few other all-rounders like Justin Pitcher. So we were looking at 250, maybe 280, but then the roof fell, and you go from, there's a saying I like to say that cricket is a game of fluctuating fortunes, right? But the fluctuation in this case was from 115 for 3 to 145 for 8. And that's way too many wickets to lose in a short period of time. And that actually turned the game right there, because it enabled Somerset to go from having body language where they were worried to, and Bermudans thrive on momentum. And so they were back in the game and feeling on top. And then we made that declaration, which was a surprise to many. But people may wonder why we batted first. It's because, one, we wanted to dictate the game, because for so many years, Somerset have been dictating the game. So if you bat well, like we did the prior year, 297, we were looking for a similar. We had 4 batsmen who scored half centuries. This year, there was only one batsman who scored a half century or a century. That was Chris Douglas. No other Somerset player, no other St. George's player. So had we scored well and gone through them like we did after we got Chris out, we felt we had a chance, but we didn't do what we needed to do, and that's execute with our batting. Our batting failed. It's quite simply, that was the difference for us. And we didn't anticipate having to collapse like that. You're talking about 30 runs and you're losing 5 wickets, and you're supposed to be cup match players. And that's something that you see in league cricket, but not often in cup match, because the caliber of the players should be such that they can go on and make big scores. And that's what Charlie and Clay particularly used to give St. George's. You know, guys who once they got set, they would go, Albert Steed, another one, they would go on and get big runs. We need, but what's going to, I'll tell you when we're going to win it, when we put all 3 segments of our game together. Because last time we batted well, we dropped catches. This time, we fielded well, but we didn't bat very well and we gave away too many. So when we put all 3 segments of our game together, and I'm going to be honest, it's easier at St. George's, because when you have the cup, as some to do in its home field, you know they're going to prepare a flat wicket. So it's going to be hard to dismiss 20 batsmen on a flat wicket.
We're talking with Randall Smith, the coach of St. George's Cricket Club, one of the smartest cricketing minds that I knew. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Randall. Thank you for being with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you, guys. Hey, some wonderful questions. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, buddy.
Jason, well done.
Channel 82 would like to thank its broadcast partners, Bermuda Healthcare Services, Brown Darrow Clinic, the Department of National Drug Control, YourHSN.com, and Crimson Multimedia.
For more than 30 years, Bermuda Healthcare Services and the Brown Darrow Clinic have provided state-of-the-art diagnostic choices to the people of Bermuda. We were the first facility outside the hospital to establish a full array of imaging services. Under the skillful supervision of Dr. Mahesh Reddy, we offer CAT scanning, ultrasound, echocardiography, X-ray, and MRI scanning. Our team of highly skilled technologists hold outstanding credentials, and our staff will ensure that your visit is comfortable and confidential. If you would like to experience our private care, feel free to let your doctor know. Our CT and MRI results are available from the Leahy Clinic in 24 hours or less. For more information, check our website at bhcs.bm or call us at 236-2810. Building trust, one patient at a time.
During the next power outage, don't get left in the dark. Visit yourhsn.com and purchase the new T200 personal indoor solar power generator, recharged by wall socket, car cigarette lighter, or lightweight solar panels. Whether for personal indoor use or the great outdoors, you'll find this easy-to-use solar system beneficial and affordable to acquire, while also saving on your monthly electric bill. It's time to go solar. We make sure to provide a variety of payment options for all of our customers, and we'll deliver your final purchase right to your doorstep. yourhsn.com. We're all you need.
It's my body. I choose what I put into it. To me, it just doesn't make sense smoking weed, or getting high off of weed, or getting a buzz off of weed, just because my friends do.
That's their choice. That's cool. They'll have to live with that.
I'm choosing to live a healthy life.
I just feel better naturally when I'm taking care of myself, when making good choices, like choosing to be drug-free. Have you made a choice yet?
This is a message from the Department for National Drug Control. Prevention Unit.
I am here with celebrity chef Eric Atchison. How are you?
I am so blessed, so happy to be here, Cup Match 2021. So happy COVID is hopefully relieving itself and we can get back to normal. It's so good to see you. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. So is this your first Cup Match? I know you've been to Bermuda a few times.
My literal first one. So I've been hearing about it. It's one of those things where you've ever seen something on TV or Instagram like, I wish I was there. I've been planning for it 4 years. I've never been. This is my first one here, so I'm so excited to be here. Finally, I'm here.
Awesome. So this is a good time to come to Bermuda, would you say?
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, any time is a good time for Bermuda, personally speaking. But yes, right now, Cup Match, the weather's awesome, the food is amazing, the people are vibrant. Bermuda's just beautiful. It's a beautiful time to be here, yeah.
I'm so glad you're enjoying it. So tell me, do you know anything about cricket, or are you just like...
I'm learning on the fly. I have zero, I know it's somewhat close to baseball. And that's my only reference. I don't know if it's a bad thing to say, but no, I'm learning on the fly. But honestly, I'm enjoying the vibes. The people are having a great time. The swizzle's on unlimited right now, so we all just good. Everything's good.
Yes. Awesome. So what would you say to encourage people to come to Bermuda for Cup Match?
Come to Bermuda, definitely for Cup Match. Have fun, enjoy yourself. Enjoy the weather, enjoy the people. It's a beautiful time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Back to you, Leanna.
Thanks, Michaela. It looks like you guys are having a blast out there. Sorry, I am so excited because I get to be sitting here with not just a legend, but also family. You already know who's next to me, Mr. Clevie Wade. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And happy Merry Prince Day to you.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. Thank you. So day 2 of the Cup Match Classic. I mean, if you were just outside, we saw a few wickets just now get taken, and it's starting to look like a good day again for St. George's. How are you feeling about the team's performance?
I'm feeling very confident. We talked about it in the hotel about what we're looking to do, get some early wickets, and this seems to be happening. The boys are really working hard. Yeah, so we just got to keep Somerset under at least 200 run lead, at least.
Yes.
So we could go into day 2 and do what we're going to do.
For sure. So speaking of that pep talk that you guys had last night, how is the team feeling right now?
Team's feeling very confident. We always believe in ourselves and try to back ourselves to the fullest. So all we do is ask the players to go out there and do the best that they can.
Of course. And day 1, how did you feel they did on day 1? Because we were out there and, we're looking on. Somerset got back in and, it seemed as if they were doing all right. So what were your thoughts on yesterday's match?
We started off good yesterday. It was according to our plan. We're looking to score at least 230, 240. And we had a nice start. We was 120 for 3. We was in the driver's seat, but then our middle order collapse, which happens in cricket, set us back. So we didn't get what we really asked for, but that's cricket.
So it looks like the weather's on your side today. We haven't seen a lick of rain, thank goodness. I mean, the sun is shining. I know it's quite hot out there for your players, but how are you feeling about, the weather being on your side today?
Well, we're hoping and praying it will be a good day, and this is what we got. So we're just going to go out there and try to get them out. And whatever lead they have is try to knock the deficit off and bet to the rest of the day.
Well, I'm cheering for you on the sidelines. I mean, not only just family, but St. George's Stronghold. This has been in your blood for years.
Yes, definitely for donkey's years. My father played for St. George's, so I'm blue and blue, thick and through.
Thick and through. I haven't heard that one yet. I'm going to be using that one. I'll take a page out of your book.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you back, in the month of July, they say when you cut St. George's people, they bleed blue. So.
Blue, see? It's no red around here. We keep telling you that. St. George's all the way. Now, before I let you go, I understand you've always had an in the Cup Match. You've always had to be, from the sidelines and making sure that the team is great and everything. But from a personal standpoint, what's your favorite part about Cup Match?
Cup Match, my favorite about Cup Match is about the celebration and the Emancipation Day and the camaraderie, the families get together. The community in St. George's, looks for it. You go into the town, everything is blue and blue, the ribbons and, people decorations. And it's also good for, even people in the West End, they come, support St. George's and Somerset, and they get together, come down there and enjoy the day.
Definitely. And I mean, to see the return of the annual Cup Match Classic and to see it back in St. George's after that long 2 years or year and a half of not being able to see the game go ahead.
Yes, that's very, very, very special. Last year due to the COVID, and its Cup Match is back. And this is for the people, you know, like my president said in some interviews, it's for the people. And this is what we're here. And I'm glad to see, you know, people getting together and enjoying it, having fun.
Couldn't have said it better myself. On that note, thank you so much for your time. I know you've got to get back out there, but you know, we're wishing our team the very best and a victorious win. We will be lifting that cup, right?
Yeah, most definitely. We're looking to do it. We're going to do our best that we can.
This one, he is, oh, what a catch! What a phenomenal catch! Allen Douglas Jr.
And welcome back. We are talking with Jeff Richardson, the head coach of Somerset Cricket Club. Jeff, this year, Cup match was off. It was on, back on again. How difficult for you as a coach, first of all, was it to motivate yourself? And then secondly, was it for you to motivate your team?
Well, quite frankly, it was more difficult motivating myself than my team, because after we first declined to play Cup match, well, let me really back a bit. We had arranged a Zoom meeting for all the players to come in and give their input on how they felt it should go. And a certain segment of the team didn't show up to the meeting. So the guys that were on the meeting decided this is what we were going to do. We were not going to play. And then, of course, the noise started and the backlash started. And then you start hearing the other players start talking about, well, I always wanted to play. We should play. So we arranged another meeting. And that's when we came to the final decision that we could play. But my position had never changed, and it still hasn't changed up to today.
Your position being what?
That we shouldn't have played the match.
Even though you won so comprehensively?
I was never concerned about that. I just didn't think that...
So what were your concerns?
My concern was the fact that Cup match wasn't going to be for everyone. Yes, the country needed something. I would agree with that. And in hindsight, it brought something to the country, but the entire country didn't enjoy Cup match. Those that were there enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed myself while I was there, but most of the country didn't enjoy themselves, in my humble opinion. Where most of the players want to go. We still had 3 or 4 players, maybe 5 players that still feel up to today that we shouldn't have played a Cup match. And that was their opinion. And but because the majority of players decided they wanted to play, so we played. So the motivation for them was the noise coming from St. George's. That motivated them to put in the work that was required to at least get somewhat prepared for the 2-day classic. So eventually, gradually, I bought into it. And then after I accepted the fact that Cup match was going to happen, then I had to make sure that I was in a proper space and my players were in a proper place to go there and perform the way that people expect us to perform.
I want to switch the coach hat and go to the father hat, because your son has played 2 Cup matches.
Yes.
And you know he's gotten off some good starts.
Yes.
And hasn't gotten that half century. And I know, obviously, you feel for him, but I'm pretty sure you've played that innings in your head a few times.
So it's kind of ironic. I mentioned to him that it's sort of history repeating itself, because my second Cup match, I got out on 47, betting at the same end at St. George's.
Wow.
And this is second Cup match, got out at same end at 42. But I reflected on the positives of his innings. It was such a mature and elegant innings for someone who's only played the second Cup match that, you know, he's my son.
Well, back, because he's totally the opposite batsman of you. You was really never that, let me say, patient, as I would say.
He is way more technically sound than I was. So understand that I knew my flaws as a cricketer. And from young, I made sure that he didn't have the flaws I had. And his temperament is completely different from mine as well. But when he has to go, he can go.
Yes.
You know, and it's a work in progress. I mean, he went away with the under-19s to Houston and he scored 11 off 44 balls. Now he's scoring 44 off 11 balls.
Yeah.
So his transition has been phenomenal. And I guess we have to attribute that to his time in Cardiff, you know, because in my humble opinion, I've coached him and I've given him as much as I can, you know. It's now, and I passed him on to his university and he came back a far better player than he was when he left. So my role now is him tell me what you want me to do and I just do it. Whether it's throwing balls or, you know, simple things like we're putting a table in front of him and bunting tennis balls so he could hawk and cut. And so that's where we're at.
Give me a low of cup match and also give me a high of cup match.
Cup match going?
Yeah, for you.
The low for me was the Tarrant incident, the incident with the umpires.
Tell us a bit about that.
Okay. It should have been called a dead ball. Everyone saw the tape come off the guy's arm. And I actually approached the umpires on the side, said, look, you guys saw that. Please instruct the guys out in the middle to make the right decision. Giving Tarrant up was the wrong decision. And we could talk about player deportment and all that sort of stuff, but I stand strongly behind this because I'm the one who sent Tarrant back out there.
So let's pause there. So did you, after sending him back, did you expect the umpire to reverse his decision? Like,
Yes.
what did you really expect could have happened at that stage?
So if both umpires are attentive, right? The minute that tape came off the bowler's arm, at the same time the ball is being delivered, it should be an automatic dead ball. You cannot get out on a dead ball.
Right, that's fine.
It should have been a dead ball. To sit there and say that you didn't see it, and as Jacoby had mentioned and I mentioned, Carrington's a police officer. You're trained to observe.
No, but then if he didn't see it,
but he said he
can't
saw
make a
it.
decision.
He said he saw it. His reasoning was the umpire gave him out. And we're in a time now with DRS and everything else, so forth and so on, that decisions are being reversed.
But I don't think we have that. Those rules aren't in cup match. Though,
We don't, but everyone saw it. Everyone knew it should have been a dead ball. I'm gonna roll forward a bit. When the ball was going to the boundary, when we needed one run, the umpire signaled 4. And because someone stopped the ball, he called a dead ball. Why he couldn't do that for the same thing?
Well,
I mean, it was blatantly obvious that the tape came off the guy's arm. And I will take blame for Tarrant going back out there. I will take full responsibility for that because I felt it was an injustice. Mm-hmm. And in the grand scheme of things, maybe it was the wrong decision. I'll take full responsibility for that. It was not Tarrant's fault. But what I will say is the fact that they had nothing to do with St. George's Cricket Club. And the way they reacted brought the game into disrepute as well, because Tarrant went to discuss the situation with the umpires. Their players came and started pushing him about. I had 2 players that were sanctioned as a result of that incident, and no one from St. George's was sanctioned.
So in hindsight, knowing now what it, for want of a better word, erupted into, do you think that it was the right decision?
Probably
not the umpire's decision, the decision for him to go back.
Probably not. Probably not. I wouldn't do it again, no.
Okay, so that's the low. What about the high? What was the best point of the match?
The high for me was Chris Douglas getting 100 in cup match.
Class batsman.
Class batsman. There's not I can't say enough about the individual. That he leads from the front. Every cup match, he leads from the front. From the time he got his first 50, he's just been going on in leaps and bounds, and there's no fanfare, there's no nothing. It's just Chris, and I am so happy for what he's achieved in cup match. My only disappointment was the fact that I said after you got your 100, you're supposed to see LJ to his 50, but you got out. And he actually agreed with me.
Really? It's always a pleasure to pick your cricket brain because it's so deep and so, he's such a smart fellow. We're talking to Jeff Richardson, the head coach at Somerset Cricket Club. We'll be right back.
This one's taking a high swipe, and guess what? He's out. Top edge. Top edge. Detroit Smith is running back to the pavilion, looking to take a hard swing to the match. When you're playing to a long period of time, to number one.
Oh, he's bold. He is bold.
That's a beautiful shot by Bascom. That's going to be 4 runs. That's going to be 4 runs. Ball pitched up just outside the off stump. And guess what? That gives Unai Bascom the freedom to let his arms.
HSBC's My Savings account helps young people's money grow. For 7 to 17-year-olds, it's their own bank account for their own money, with no fees, monthly interest, and a quarterly bonus interest. An HSBC My Savings account gives young people the financial tools they need to help them move towards achieving their goals. Visit HSBC or sign up today at hsbc.bm/mysavings.
How is Aretha doing?
Aretha's doing alright.
Vava Entertainment Limited presents an encore VIP screening of the blockbuster hit movie Respect, starring Jennifer Hudson as Aretha Franklin, with a special tribute performance featuring Bermuda's First Lady of Soul, Sister Sheila J. Smith and the Soul Sisters, accompanied by the unit band with guest musicians Raymond George and Sister John A. Ferber. Screening of this event will take place at the Media Lounge located in Dockyard on Thursday, August the 26th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $80 and available exclusively from Vava at 338-8029. Part proceeds to benefit the Bermuda Entertainment Union. As this is a Safe Key event, all patrons must provide Safe Key documentation and masks are required when not eating, drinking, or seated.
Ready to take your business to the next level? If you've been in business for at least 3 years and have at least one employee besides yourself, then apply to the BEDC's Enterprise Bermuda Accelerator to get hands-on training, networking, and industry support. Applications open now through September 30th. Log on to bedc.bm to learn more. BEDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
Are you embarrassed by hair loss, dry or flaky scalp, suffering from thinning or damaged hair? Well, Salon B, Bermuda's only hair and scalp disorder clinic, is here to help by using a wide range of clinically proven treatments that will address all your hair restorative needs. We invite you to visit us for a consultation with our certified hair treatment specialist, which begins with a detailed scientific hair and scalp exam, followed by treatment services with our award-winning researcher and physician, Dr. Kaiwan Brown. At Salon B, we also provide haircuts, trims, colors, perms, highlights, and styling, all geared to clients suffering from hair loss or a variety of other scalp disorders. For your comfort and privacy, all treatments are performed one-on-one in a private and relaxing treatment room. To begin growing that beautiful head of hair you've always wanted, please schedule your appointment today. To make arrangements or receive more information, call 441-293-5476.
As you can see, I am bald. Let's try that again.
First time cup match. How you doing? Welcome. I'm Josh. How you doing?
How am I doing? I thought I was doing the interview in here. Josh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
It's been great so far. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, Ed De Silva, great host. Absolutely fantastic. Little camp up there.
Yeah.
Got drinks. Come visit. Great time. Come down to the Crown and Anchor here. I think I broke about even, and now I'm just ready to get a fish sandwich. Absolutely fantastic.
I feel like he just sold cup match in like 20 seconds.
Welcome back. We're talking with Jacoby Robertson, assistant coach of Somerset. Coach, well, nice to see you back in the coaching. Nice to see you there with the boys there, but let's talk a little bit about the selection, because you guys haven't had to make too many major selections over the last few years, but obviously this year with Kamal coming back, Trey, retirement of Stephen Outerbridge, I'm still vexed that he ain't got to 800 runs in cup match. I want to see him at least get there. I think it's stock on 790 something.
Wow.
But to say that the selection that you guys have, what are some of the problems you guys, name some of those players that were really on the outskirts of this team? Because we know what the team is.
Right. So I'm going to actually take you back to, I guess, when myself and Gennaro retired. We was always talking about who's going to replace us. And during that time, Kamal wasn't in the team, nor Dion Stovall. So we looked around, we said, okay, well, this is a perfect time for us to go. Kamal's coming in, Dion comes in. Kamal comes in for my spot as a Burla all-rounder. Stovall comes in as Gennaro, like for like. Cool. We fast forward now, a couple years. We're going to pick a team. Derek Brayman now got suspended. So who do we have to pick? Crazy James. So now Crazy gets in because of his performance during the season. Somerset boy also. And Derek's injured. So that's an easy route for him. All you got to do is perform, take your wickets, score a little bit of runs in trial. Happy days. And then the following year, Trey Mendes breaks his leg. So now, what are we going to do here? Looking around. Crazy Tracy's still there. So Trey is out. Derek comes back in. Simple as that. So it actually been working out for us, where it's just a one man in and out type of thing. But I look at the reserves that we have, like Dominic Sabur and Nairobi Mills and this young Taron Veb. Like these guys are, 18, 19? They're right there pushing the guys that are in the team. You know, so guys are now put on to say, listen, if you don't perform, these young guys are waiting for your spot, and they're coming to get it. And they let them know in the team meeting that you're on reserve this year, but next year I'm coming for your spot. So in Somerset, we're still bleeding the youth, and it looks bright. It really looks bright.
Boys getting to the field. How do you think the boys, when they got to the field, obviously losing the toss? I'm pretty sure you had your plans. Playing what, A, B, and C? Which plan did you go with?
We didn't have. They made the plan for us. They told us the betting. So we said okay. I don't know if you noticed that in the last couple of years when he had the team that fields first normally wins. So it was overcast. The wicket didn't look the greatest. Okay. We was thinking we was gonna bet. And they said, well, we're having a hit. So we said, okay, cool. Well, happy days for us. We ain't have to make the decision. Nothing backfired on us. You made the decision for us. They now have to bring the game to us. And as you see, the rest is history.
Obviously, convincing victory. I mentioned to Joe and also expectations now. Very convincing victories over the last few years with that cup match. How do you keep guys motivated to the not complacent, but also expectations not only for you as coaches, but also the fans?
Yeah. That's what happened. That's what actually happened to me when it came to cup match. You know, me leaving at 34, I was like, okay, I'm beat these guys. Took me 10 years to win it, but the next ones after that was just easy and easy and easy. And the challenge wasn't there for me as a sportsman no more. So I said, it's time for me to step away. But now it's a time for guys who set records. Like that 186 is out there to be broken. Partnership records are out there to be broken. So let's go break down. Wickets, as you see, Malachi got 50 wickets. He's climbing up the charts. So we now have to start going for records until St. George's bring it.
Now, I'm starting to see this trend in cup match, and I saw it a few years ago, and I'm pretty sure it happened in insurance time too, back in the 30s and 40s, But, you've seen guys like yourself starting off as a face builder offside, and then turn into a spinner. And you've seen a few, even with George O'Brien on the other side, with Malachi this year, and even Kamal. You're seeing guys who might build a couple of overs with some seam, but then use the spinning abilities. I mean, how's the transition for you, and how you see the transition now with these guys?
Well, before, guys were scared to say, yeah, I'm going to turn from one to the other. I said, listen, my knees are bad. I got to make a decision. Do I stop playing or how do I get back into this team? And I said to myself, 2011, the team just wasn't working no more. And I said, let me try this spin thing. And yeah, it came off. It came off. And my old man was telling me back in the day that you start off spinning before Arnold Mendes turned you to a pacer because you're the tallest guy around. So it was basically in me to be a spinner. And I guess now I'm set the trend and allows guys to feel comfortable now to go and do that. Now, guys won't get beaten now. Oh, you're building spin now, that's trash or whatever. You know, you're finished.
If Kirby could do it, anybody could do it.
Right. So now I'm took all the licks. You know, people talk me down to the ground. But, you know, my record speaks for itself. So I'm glad guys are doing it because it prolongs the cricketing career.
We've been talking with Jacoby Robinson, one of the coaches of Somerset Cricket Club, and on the heels of a successful 2021 Cup match campaign. Congratulations again, Jacoby, and thank you for joining us. We'll be right back.
That run drifting down the leg side. That's going to be four.
It's a nice late cut. That's a beautiful late cut. A beautiful late cut, and it's chased on, and it's 4 runs.
Flicks this one off his pads, and he is out. He's out. Flicks this one off his pad. Ooh, but that would. Oh, Smith didn't know what to do there. That's more than a Yorker right there.
Channel 82 would like to thank its broadcast partners, Bermuda Healthcare Services, Brown Darrow Clinic, the Department of National Drug Control, yourhsn.com, and Crimson Multimedia.
For more than 30 years, Bermuda Healthcare Services and the Brown Darrow Clinic have provided state-of-the-art diagnostic choices to the people of Bermuda. We were the first facility outside the hospital to establish a full array of imaging services. Under the skillful supervision of Dr. Mahesh Reddy, we offer CAT scanning, ultrasound, echocardiography, X-ray, and MRI scanning. Our team of highly skilled technologists hold outstanding credentials, and our staff will ensure that your visit is comfortable and confidential. If you would like to experience our private care, feel free to let your doctor know. Our CT and MRI results are available from the Leahy Clinic in 24 hours or less. For more information, check our website at bhcs.bm or call us at 236-2810. Building trust, one patient at a time.
Ready to take your business to the next level? If you've been in business for at least 3 years and have at least one employee besides yourself, then apply to the BEDC's Enterprise Bermuda Accelerator to get hands-on training, networking, and industry support. Applications open now through September 30th. Log on to bedc.bm to learn more. BEDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
I am sitting here right now with the stars of everything, the production team, the A-team, the people that make it all come together. Lamern, Amir, what a wonderful production you have both put on today. How are you feeling right now?
Well, it's nice to get to the end because it's 2 days. And normally when you do the 2-hour production, you know, it's over in 2 hours. Okay, that was well done. But with Cup Match, you can get through 1 day, great. But then you still have another whole day. And it's a long day.
Yeah.
So you have to sort of keep problems and put fires out for like from 7:30, 6:30 a.m. all the way up to 7 at night. So it's a long time to have to stay focused and watch all the moving parts. So when you get to the point where you at the end of 2 days, it's a real nice feeling.
It's almost
and
like
your
a sigh of relief, right?
And your phone hasn't been blown up. Because one thing in Bermuda, you got cousins, family. As soon as they see any problem, the WhatsApp starts buzzing. Oh, this is happening. But this Cup Match was just great.
Was such a short window. What was the preparation like for this, Amir?
Well, basically, it took us between like 16 hours per day for 10 days. We were awarded the contract 10 days before today, and no sleep. But what was the driving factor was the fact that we had to celebrate our national heroes. There are a lot of people who fought for us to actually experience and feel the freedoms that we feel today. And so, personally, my driving force was Mary Prince. Last year was the first annual Mary Prince Day. We didn't get a chance to really celebrate it appropriately, so it was very fitting that, you know, we attribute as much energy and as much time to making sure that we celebrated our national hero, Mary Prince.
Of course. We know you as a fashion diva on this island, and I know you know what I'm saying right now. But this outfit is obviously hot. Why do we come out dressed to impress on the second day of Cup Match? Because you've been doing it for years.
It's a thing. I've been doing it since I was little. Just your mama put you in your best, and it just followed through.
Where's my St. George's fans? I heard a lot of Somerset just now. Where's my St. George's fans?
And we're back. We are talking with Chris Douglas, Somerset Cricket Club opening batsman, century maker. Chris, congratulations on a fantastic innings.
Thank you very much.
Day one, 97 runs at the end of the day. A painstaking innings, over 2 hours. Was 90, how many deliveries did we see? You faced 84 deliveries on day one, the whole innings, and on the cusp of a century at the end of the day. 10 fours, 6 sixes. How'd you feel at the end of the day, knowing that you were on the verge of a century? Did you sleep?
Of course I slept. I needed to sleep after such a long day in the field. Cricket's a tiring game. It takes a lot of energy out of players. And I mean, with all those boundaries and 4s and 6s, I just felt good. And I was just ready to go back out there for the next day. Well, as a team, our goal initially is always to try and go for the victory. Then batting second, it's the easiest way for the victory is always going to be the 2-1. So you need a big innings first. So as an opener, myself and Taryn, our goal is just simply to pave the road, to give the team a platform. And that's what we done the last time we played a cup match, and that's what we wanted to do this time again. And so we didn't get off to a great start, but my partner came in, Trey at number 3, and we went smooth from there on. So I said the plan went accordingly, and I think the coach can be proud of himself for that.
Your game has really developed over the last few years. So you are now, your average in cup match is 42, I believe it is, Jason?
Yep.
42. You're creeping up the list. This was your third, so you've had 2 half centuries before in cup match. Your highest score before this was 74, and this is obviously your first century. You're coming into your own, many would say, and would probably be described by most as one of Bermuda's premier batsmen. What does your preparation for cup match look like?
Actually, nowadays my preparation for cup match has changed drastically as I've become older, mature. Now I have a business. I have so many more things to actually think about now. Before it was, okay, it's cup match week. I have to go to this, I have to go HSBC for this event, Camden House this night, go to this event. Honestly, I've missed so many different events this year just because of being busy with my new business that cup match preparation has really been up to the individual. And for me, it's just making sure that I got what I needed done accomplished. And I've always had the words with my coach and my manager. We have great relationships. And I think the best thing about it is that they've just allowed us as players to mature and be who we want to be. And I've always told everybody they pick the team because they like how we are as individuals and they don't have to change us. And so to me, everyone, I'm sure, just does their thing, their game, they play their game. And leading up into the preparation for cup match, everything just goes accordingly because we're a well-oiled machine.
You Day two, you continued your innings, and you continued on at the same pace that you were going before. So your innings was a combination of your natural and normal aggression, but it was also, there were periods of just patience. Pure patience. So it's appearing that your game is maturing and evolving into the class batsman that we know that you are and that you can be. What has led you to that? Is it just something that's evolved, or is it something that you've been working on over the years?
Well, it's crazy. A lot of people say to me that my innings at Eastern County 2 weeks prior was uncharacteristic of me, scoring 82 runs off of 186 balls. But if anyone knows me from when I was young, that is the innings that I like to play. I like to build an innings, take my time, and if it's a good bowler, you respect him and you see him off. And in cup match, the difference on that day was the field was a lot quicker and it's smaller, and then a bit of the crowd kind of gets to you, the adrenaline runs, and you say, oh, I want boundary. But the player that I've become, I say, post 23, was very aggressive, and I'm now at 31 combining all the players that I have been over my time. Because I used to be a graft at 15 up to 18, and then I started to get a little bit stronger, working out a bit, and then I started to hit the boundaries. And just now I'm coming back to combining the whole game. And I think we as an island saw something very similar from Stephen Utterbridge years ago, where I watched Stephen and I watched his game change, and the ability to just put his head down, and I'm not getting out right now. I'm doing this for my team. That's something that I always wanted to emulate. And I'm happy that people have noticed it, and I'm happy that the work that I've put in is paying off at this moment. I wouldn't say that I've changed very much. I would just say I'm figuring myself out. I'm learning myself that much more, understanding myself and my abilities and what my body can and can't do.
Chris, obviously watching your game develop over the years, and you mentioned bringing all those different facets of your game and pulling it together. But yes, I was the one that's saying that very unlike Chris at the Eastern County, with his innings, because I've seen you come out and basically, I want to say, almost intimidate bowlers on the first over. In saying that, come cup match, you've hit the last 4 cup matches you've played, you've hit boundaries in the 4 cup matches you played, and 3 of the opening ball has been 6s. So what is your intention when you walk out? Because you're a guy that doesn't wear a helmet, you don't care what wicket it is, who's bowling, you're looking to take his smile right off his face on the first ball. What is it with you with opening bowlers?
I don't have anything personal against them. Ever since I hit my first one for 6, there was always that talk about, oh, Glenn, you hit the first ball for 6, and just kept having all this talk. And then every year since then, people have asked about it. And I probably thought about it the night of, the day of, but not when I'm out there actually betting on that first ball. And then subconsciously, I just go in a trance, and when I look, the umpire signaling for a 6 or something. So I just pounce on it instinctively when that ball comes. And I always feel like I've played the ball on the merit. If you watch whatever the shot is that I've played afterwards, it doesn't look premeditated. I'm not falling over, I have my balance. So I guess I just back myself to play my game and make people happy by hitting that first ball to the boundary.
Now, finally, you reached that century, and we felt bad that up in Somerset when you scored that 74, and he was down on the knee, and somehow the ball got around you and knocked the bail off or something. It wasn't much, and we was wondering what happened, and I was like, man, this was the day that Chris, this was Chris's 100. But to see you bet the other day, it was amazing, because I even watched you. We was joking about it, because even the spinners was just throwing the ball up to you, lobbying up, like, man, Chris would have put this in for Myers. And you just play a ball back down to him, you wait. You throw another one up to you. Oh, you play it back to him. And I said, "No, Chris has got something big on his mind." All that temptation because the second part of Chris would have took advantage of that right away. What was keeping you focused?
Well, the idea of tossing the ball up, when I was 18 at work, we used to call it light 'em up.
Yeah.
Myself and Stephen Bream used to say light 'em up. And I was the one lighting them up. I used to build my spin and toss the ball up like a rainbow to the sky. And nobody's gonna trick me with what I do. So that's that. And I know it's him or me when it comes down to the batsman and the bowler. And you got 6 balls. You got a captain that's gonna get tired of you not getting any wickets, and then you're gonna come off the ball. Eventually, the individual himself gets tired. He says, you know what? No, I'm gonna build it like this now. And they give me something that I want. And that's the name of the game really in cricket, especially when you have a longer format and it's not 2020. You can wait for what you want. Even in 50 overs, 300 balls is a lot of balls. So that was the game when it comes down to any game in long format, and especially in the Cup Match Classic. So
I want to go back to something that Sean said, because coming into this match, people were talking about lack of preparation, time, getting to Cup Match, playing the 2020 format. But you mentioned your private business. And when you look at your innings, it was over 3 hours at the crease. Almost at 47 overs. You know, to stay there that long, what would you tell the young person right now? Because, you know, you hear a lot of talk that these guys can't switch on or can't switch away from the 2020 game. What would be some of the things that you would tell a young person?
Well, for starters, it's not a 2020 match. 2, you play the ball on its merit. 3, have a good look in the pavilion. Do you see anybody better than you in that pavilion? If not, well, you better stay out there. And that's that. I always tell my partner, hey, it's just you and I out there, you know, it's no one coming after us. Even if the so-called best batsman on the team is in the pavilion. Yeah. Mate, it's you and I, it's nobody else. So we're gonna take up all the balls that we can, because you watch teams crumble. 5 wickets for 20 runs and stuff. I mean, even St. George's had that period because they had a good start. Yeah. It was probably 130 for 2, something like that. Yeah. And then maybe 4 wickets were lost in 10 runs or even less. So it could happen to any team. It happens worldwide. So for me, it's just, you have the opportunity, take advantage, and don't try to leave it to someone else.
You're known for having a level of confidence that there's nobody better than me. Where does that come from?
Well, a few years ago, my uncle actually came back to the island, Troy Douglas, and he was training myself and a couple other guys, just personal training, regular fitness. And he mentioned my aura one day to me. He said, nephew, your aura, man, I see it, I feel it. I watched you from 100 meters away and I could still see it. The bowlers don't want to bowl to you. And hearing that from my uncle, who has been to the levels that he has been in sports, said to me, okay, I must have something. And just from hearing that, I've carried myself with it. And I've seen how people bowl to me. The second I take one step down the crease, it's a wide way down leg and stuff like that. So I say, you know what? My uncle's right. They do for me. So why not act like it? Right? So I just keep it. People call it cocky. I call it confidence. And if I weren't confident, they'll tell me I'm modest. So I just continue to be confident.
So when you first got picked for Cup Match, obviously you want to make the team. You've been Cup Match now since what?
2008.
2008. Yeah. So you're looking at it now. Yeah. Even though you're young, you're still one of the veteran players. What is your outlook for Cup Match now? I mean, because good, and obviously the last few Cup matches, Somerset's been very dominant. Very dominant. And we heard from other guests that, you know what, let's give it to St. George this year, right? So going into Cup Match, like, do you even keep a track of the numbers you had, or the averages, or how many runs you made? Because I'm going to tell you how many people you've passed, but I want to see if you knew prior going into Cup Match where you were.
Honestly, I have no idea of my individual run score. My average, I had a slight idea. I thought it was in the 20s maybe. Actually, our score does a good job of letting us know things, but at the presentation, but I forget it all. Never
Do those things mean anything to you?
I'm not worried about personal accolades, no. For me, it's actually a bad trait of mine. If I feel like the job is done, meaning I feel like my team is comfortable, that's kind of when I get out. But as bad as it is, it also means that I know we're in a very good position. And yeah, I have no idea where my average was and what it would be today.
Okay, so let me start off with most runs in cup match. This is all time, right? So the history of cup match, right? So obviously you started in 2008 and you came into the match 34th place, 461 runs, average of 32. High score to 74, we mentioned up at Somerset. Well, since which you have passed Neville Darrell, Campbell Simons, Woodgate Simmons. You mentioned Stephen Otterbridge, because Stephen's 498. Lee Rayner, Warren Simmons, Lloyd Simmons, Fred Darrell, Andre Mendes, Joe Bailey, Richard Baisden, Dexter Baisden, and O.J. Pitcher. You just passed O.J. Pitcher. You are now in 22nd place all time. People like Lionel Thomas and Glenn Blakeney is just a few runs ahead of you. Okay. So these are the names, John Tucker and Colin Blades, Calvin Bobby Simons. You're basically in striking reach of what we will call cup match legends. Now, if you want to go to your average, you mentioned your average. Right now, Somerset holds the top 8 averages out of 10, top 8 places in the averages. Gennaro Tucker, obviously, Mr. Cup Match himself, at 59. Colin Blades, 49. Taryn Freight, 44. I guess who comes next? Chris Douglas, 42. That is Trey Mendes, 40. After that's Elmer Hunt, 38. Nigel Hazel, Lloyd James, Lionel Can, Albert Steed, Charlie Marshall. So just in the record books alone, you're going to be, whether you like it or not, whether you think about it or not, if you was to stop today, you'd be known as a cup match legend for years down the road and inspiration to young people. I just want to say thank you for bringing the inspiration to these young people, because a lot of times cup match is about family. And these kids want to know what the uncles and cousins did and always looking to aspire. So when you was growing up, obviously your family, rich history in cricket. Was it any one of the members that you said, I want to be better than him, or I want to make more runs than him? Was it anybody in your family?
The only person that at any point that I needed to do better than was my father, because he started to challenge me. When I thought I had arrived, when I thought I was accomplishing things, and I thought I had become, he said no. He gave me a little plaque. He said, this is my top score in Eastern County. Put it in your gear bag. You can take it out when you beat it. I was 9 runs short of it last Eastern County. So I've still got a hold of it. And I have to surpass his 91, I believe it was. Yes. So hopefully this weekend. Other than that, my uncle's always been, Alan Douglas, has been very supportive, never challenged me. My cousin, Alan himself, the junior, he's also very supportive. We challenge each other without verbally challenge each other. So we always know whatever score you get, I want to top that. So the year when I did get the 74, I think he got 79 or maybe 80. So he was happy that he had outdone me, and he had passed his father's top score in cup match at the same time. But now I have surpassed that, so I'm just looking forward to next year and seeing what he can do, because I know when I set that goal now for us, he wants to go and crush that. So I'll be surprised to see 100 from Alan next year.
What, as someone who lives and breathes cricket, and who would be considered by many to be an all-rounder, what one aspect of your game, if you could, what would you like to improve on?
Brilliant question, actually. The one point I feel I haven't quite grasped yet, captaining. It's not batting, it's not bowling, it's not fielding, nor is it wicket keeping. It's the ability to get a message across to my players. An effective captain.
And why is that?
Has the backing of his players. I've been in that position before, and I wasn't successful there. I've gotten most wickets in this island as a bowler. I've got safe hands in cup match being a wicketkeeper. I've been keeper for Bermuda before. I've been top bat, and I've always been a good fielder. So I don't have to worry about those things anymore. But captaincy,
it's an art.
It is. It's a higher stage. It's a great understanding. You have to understand your players, the game situation, any sort of conditions that you're dealing with, whether it be rain comes one way when you're in St. David's, but it comes across another way when you're in Somerset. So you just have to know those things. You might have to go and talk to the groundsman to figure out those things. But I had a brief stint as captain. I won a bit, but it wasn't about the winning. Like I said, it's about the respect from your players and getting your message across. And I do not deem you an effective captain if you cannot get your message across. I don't care about your skill level. It's, can your message get across? Have your players received it? And are they acting on what you said?
Well said. We're talking with Chris Douglas, Somerset's opening batsman, century maker, and by all accounts, one of the finest cricketers we have in the island today. Thank you, Chris. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.
When he's bowled, he is what a bird by Kamal Levrock. This is on 4 after facing 6 deliveries. Now when he's bowled, Alan Douglas is bowled. But the pitch stop is draft on the pad. He could be given out. He is out. He is out. One nice view off the pad, around the square leg boundary. It's going to be 4 runs. 4 runs.
Are you experiencing hair loss due to excessive perms, weaving, overstyling, or even aging? Have you ever dreamt of having that full, fabulous head of hair? People have come to me frequently over the years with a wide range of hair loss conditions. So I've developed my own clinically proven hair growth formula to help those patients suffering from excessive shedding, thinning, and those receding hairlines.
With a blend of both natural and pharmaceutical compounds that promote healthy hair, Dr. Brown's Hair Growth Formula contains 5% FDA-approved minoxidil. This twice-daily formula will improve blood flow, add nutrients to your hair follicles, and can be used by both men and women.
My hair growth formula will grow, strengthen, moisturize, and restore damaged hair. It's very easy to use and available at North Shore Medical, your local hair salons, and your barbershops.
To place your order, please call 293-5476. Dr. Brown's Hair Growth Serum, providing a new look that grows with you.
Ready to take your business to the next level? If you've been in business for at least 3 years and have at least one employee besides yourself, then apply to the BEDC's Enterprise Bermuda Accelerator to get hands-on training, networking, and industry support. Applications open now through September 30th. Log on to bedc.bm to learn more. BEDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
Crimson Multimedia is a full-service video production company. We can take your next project from concept to completion. We produce small one-camera setups to complex large-scale multi-camera productions. We offer editing, visual effects, and file transfers. We also broadcast and live stream both free and pay-per-view events. Visit our website at www.crimsonmultimedia.bm for a quote or to contact us. Let Crimson Multimedia film, edit, broadcast, and stream your next event.
COVID can't stop you from indulging in a good grease. If you missed it last year, Taste of Bermuda Drive-In Experience is returning this year for a bigger celebration of Bermuda cuisine. This unique culinary experience is returning to Parleyville Car Park September 24th to the 26th. Each night will feature more food samples, live-action culinary stations, grand prize giveaways, culinary demonstrations on the main stage, a double header of films, and even more dynamic vendors. Food and beverage will also be available for purchase. Entry to the event requires a receipt valued at $25 or more per car from any city eatery between August 26th and September 26th. This event is open to vehicles only. The city can't wait to share this one-of-a-kind experience with you. Social distancing and mask wearing required.
Hamilton, Bermuda at its best.
Welcome back. We're talking with Jordan De Silva, the captain of Somerset Cricket Club, and we're talking about Cup Match 2021.
Well, Jordan, 2021, we didn't have Cup Match last year. But the previous year, 2019, very successful. Going into this year, obviously no cricket being played last year. Everybody's still trying to get 1 or 2 spots because Somerset really hasn't made too many changes in the last 4 or 5 Cup matches. Just knowing that you would have to pick a team with probably 1 or 2, or Stephen Otterbridge out. But Trey Mendes coming back in, Kamal looking to come back in. Some hard decisions with a lack of playing. You mentioned a lack of game time to see players. How difficult it was to pick the side, even though you only had 1 or 2 changes?
Well, it wasn't too difficult, to be honest. I think a lot of guys picked themselves. You know, what got a good nucleus of players. You know, you could pick probably 9 of the players before the day. I mean, the trial match was a one-sided one. You know, and I wasn't able to witness it, so I had to go based off of the other selectors when it came to that. I mean, the player that would have felt unlucky was obviously Crazy. He got left out after having a decent trials, had a decent season. But, you know, tough decisions have to be made and the 11 could play. The luxury we had is that, you know, like you said, you had Trey coming back in. You know, Trey's pedigree speaks for himself. You know, it's a luxury to be able to call someone like him. And then obviously Kamal. And our thing with Kamal wasn't just obviously his ability. We all know what he could do. But the fact he was playing cricket in England for a good couple months before he came back. So it wasn't just a matter of, okay, this is probably Bermuda's best all-rounder, but he's going to be one of the few guys that's probably actually ready for this type of game. So that was a luxury for us. We definitely looked at that and said, it doesn't really make our team any weaker, not in my opinion. You know, LJ was the one that got in for trade 2 years ago, but LJ proved again this year that he's ready for Cup match. Disappointed he didn't get the big score that he deserved, but he hasn't shown any, you know, lack of quality since he's been in the team. So I think picking the team was easy. The reserves was a bit more difficult, you know, with all the protocols, with COVID and the concussion protocols and how reserves could actually play this year. So we had to try to pick our reserves based around not just being a reserve, you know, in case something does happen to someone, you know, where they have to actually play the game. So to be honest, it was a swift meeting in terms of the 11, and it has been for most of the time. And, you know, it was a couple of debates. Like I said, Crazy didn't just get thrown to the wayside. There was a debate on him and another player, but, you know, difficult decisions have to be made, and his Cup match career isn't over. You know, we all know how good he is, and he could get back into the team in any year. But to be honest, no, it wasn't that difficult at all.
So let's take it to the first morning, coming out, taking a look at the wicket. What did you guys think of the wicket initially, and then what you guys thought about the actual toss?
Well, the wicket originally, we knew that it wasn't going to be a bat in paradise. We knew it wasn't going to be a wicket that was going to last a long time. The difference was the weather. We had the radar out at breakfast. We had the radar out on the way to the game, during the warm-up, because our first thought was to actually bat first. We knew the wicket was going to be underprepared. The best time to bat on it will obviously be first. So that was our initial reaction, was to bat first and maybe bat them out of the game, you know, get the bats out of the track. But with the rain around, it's like, do you bat first knowing that that's around, find yourself 30 for 4 in no time? You know, it's a whole different ball game. So at the toss, I was shocked when he batted, to be honest. I called tails, heads came up. That was my first loss in Cup match. And then he said it's betting. So I'm like, I lost, but I won because I was going to bowl anyway. So I didn't really worry me that they batted. I mean, obviously the rain going on and off probably hindered them a bit. They got off to a flyer.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of put us back a little bit, where they hit our opening builders all over the place those first 5 or 6 overs. But After that, I thought guys got into a rhythm. You know, even though with me on and off the field, Taryn took over. It was seamless. You know, that was the biggest thing I took from this year. But so we were fine building first, and then 150 for 8 at the end of it. We had no complaints with that. I mean, I understand the decision in terms of the time, but at 150, I said I just didn't think they was ever going to be able to build us out cheap enough to stay in the match at that point. By the end of the first innings.
Yeah, you guys actually. You mentioned earlier, started off slow, I would say, because they had a 37-run partnership, the open partnership. Then they had another 50-run partnership with Anais, and I believe it was the two brothers actually. Runde. But I want to say it was a period of about 5 to 6 overs where Kamal came from the other end and was basically just building stump to stump. I think prior to that, bowlers were a bit wayward. As far as the line outside, and guys were getting smashed. As you saw, they were getting smashed. But once they started building more direct, and things started happening, and wickets actually fell pretty quick. I think the unfortunate part, and you mentioned it about it, it was the rain was coming, it was always breaking momentum. And I believe it was basically hurting both teams.
Well, I think the rain definitely hurts the batting team more, because as a batsman, you have to get into more of a rhythm. And if you're going, if you're going on and off the field, it even times where you're batting and you see the rain coming, and then that's all you're thinking about, because then you don't want to get out before the rain comes. So I don't feel like the rain hindered us too much in terms of what we were doing. But you were right in terms of where the game changed. I thought when Kamal came from one end, then I think Malachi came from the other. And got a run day.
Yes.
After a run day was battling for a long time and then played a pretty uncharacteristic shot. I thought that was where the game really shifted. And I just thought that they lost their way a bit, because I think they were 130 for 3.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're saying we should make no less than 200, even in the same time. So I thought they went off the rails a bit, but you have to give us credit for that, because I thought we built a lot better after that first hour, where we were wide, we were short, we were, too full, we were full and wide, we were everything in that first hour. But I thought we pulled it back, got stump to stump. I thought the spinners built well. But like I said, I think like you said, I think that period where Kamal came back on, and I think Mally came from the other end, and Mally picked up 2 in an over, or 2 and 2 overs or something like that, where it got them to a point where they didn't know what to do, I think, because it's like they were looking at the time, don't have enough runs, and yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that, because they got off to a flyer, and they got off to about probably 4 or 5 runs and over, and then they slowed right down to where they weren't even getting 2 runs and over. And I think the aggressiveness shifted during that time period, because of, like you said, they know they had to boil you guys out twice. But how long do you stay in when they wasn't pushing the run rate along? And I think that 150, we will probably talk with the Zerk side of where their mindset was, because I'm pretty sure in their mind that 150 was probably too low on that track. But going into the Somerset innings, talk a little bit about Chris Douglas, because he's a very deliberate character, I'll say. This was probably one of the better innings I've ever seen him play, and I'll tell you why. He's very aggressive, very no nonsense, and we not only saw him mature in his innings, but I even saw them throwing up lollipops for him to hit, and he would not go after. He would not take the bait, and it was surprising to me, because I'm like, man, any other day this ball be of a mire somewhere, and he was just putting it back on, and he was respecting the bad balls. So was it something from the coaching staff? Was it something from you, or was it just Chris on the day saying, you know what, I'm gonna apply myself?
Sign of his maturity.
Yeah.
I think that's what I will put it to. But I will tell you that no one in our team tries to coach Chris when he goes to bed, and that's just being honest. Chris is literally however he feels on that day, and you usually know quite early, what type of day you're gonna get from him. But his biggest strength is that he doesn't believe anyone could get him out. I mean, I don't know if you guys said it in the commentary, but that's 3 cup matches in a row in St. George's that just hit the first ball for 6.
Yeah. Some highlights we saw there, I mean, obviously with the batting display from Chris Douglas, but I felt sorry for Stephen Bremer, because I've seen now the few cup matches he's played, he's got out on some beautiful shots, and some great catches by St. George's to dismiss him. What do you say to a guy when he comes back in after his struck this ball as hard as he could, but just literally into somebody's fingers?
Too bad.
Tell him keep it on the ground. He can't catch it because I was at the other end when Rodney caught him, and it's like he hit it hard, but it's in the air. There's always a chance. But no, you're right. He's had a couple starts and then that's some people's luck sometimes. Then you have other guys that can nick the ball straight to guys and they don't catch it. So it's like, you take the good with the bad, I guess. But he had a really good game behind the stumps.
Yes.
So I wanted to make sure I commended him on that because it was a lot of talk about his wicket keeping 2 years ago. Then there was a lot of talk about his wicket keeping when we picked him, but I don't think anybody could say anything about his wicket keeping after these 2 days. I thought he done a great job.
Well, if you saw his close the first day, I don't think nobody can complain.
Yeah, you can't say he didn't put everything into it. Definitely not.
The overall, obviously, when you guys definitely knew, when did you really say, you know what, we definitely got the game in the bag?
When Rodney got out.
When
Rodney got out, because you guys have been watching cut match. Whenever St. George's have been saved, it's been picnic.
Yeah.
Onias was the wicket that I thought the game was over. When Onias came out and got out first ball, that's when I really thought, all right, we're going to win this game. It's just a matter of how much. When Rodney went not long after, I said, I don't think they're going to make 130 now. Just looking at how the rest of the guys bet, look at Justin. Justin came out there, had a couple sixes, then he got out. George, George might have been not out, but I just felt that when Rodney got out, that was the wicket where it's like, okay, how much are we going to win by now? Are we going to win a 2-1? Is it going to be 10 wickets? Because Rodney was always the mainstay. Onias as well. Onias, obviously the 100 up Somerset delayed our victory that year, but Rodney's always the one where you get Rodney out, usually the rest go easier than Rodney does. So I think Rodney was probably the wicket where I thought the game was probably in the bag. Just a matter of by how much.
You mentioned milestones and Malachi Jones getting over 50 wickets in cup match. I mean, it puts him right up there in the top 5 wicket takers. I mean that is something. Were you guys knew of this going into the match, or something that it was mindful, or it's just something that once it happened, you feel the energy?
Oh no, we knew. He was disappointed he didn't get it in 2019 because I think he had 48 coming into this year, I believe, right? So no, we knew, and I think it was it the Ronde? Ronde might have been his first wicket. I can't remember who the wicket was that game, but we all knew. Everyone knew. We all knew that he was 2 away, but he's the only person that since I've been following cup match that has gotten to 50 wickets. I don't think anybody else has in the last.
No.
I don't know if you guys will probably be able to tell me later, but so that's exceptional, and I think George is right behind
George is
in the
close.
40s as
George
well.
is
So
close.
those are 2 guys that I've watched a lot of them and seen a lot of those wickets, and been a part of a lot of Malachi's. Obviously, took a couple catches from him and just been part of them. So to watch him work, and this year was a different Malachi. Second innings he came, had to bowl spin because we knew the wicket was turned. He got a couple wickets bowling spin, and that's actually what he started bowling when he first started playing cricket, was off breaks. So it's just nice to be a part of the team, be a part of when these guys break these milestones. You know what I mean? Just being a part of the team, being his captain. And like I say, just being a part of so many of those 50 wickets. It's just nice to see him reaping the rewards for his hard work.
Before we wrap it up, obviously special mention to Trey Mendes. I think now he's got to 10, 11 innings, but his averaging him is 40 runs an innings. Obviously, that's going to be something special to watch him go out there and just, even coming into this year, everybody talking about lack of playing this format of cricket. Got to be special mention to him. But before we get away from you, let's talk a bit about standing captain, because I believe he done a great job.
Yeah, 100%. The biggest compliment someone gave was the team didn't miss me, and that actually had a lot to do with the doctor's orders. The doctor said, is it really worth you going out there? There's 7 wickets down, and it's testament to Taryn and the whole team, because it's not always easy for a captain to be out of the game. But I think I think Coach mentioned, not the first time we've done this. When we won the cup back, Jacon didn't field the second innings, and Malachi led the team, so we got so much experience, Taryn's captain Bermuda, Malachi's been vice captain, Dion's captain Bermuda. So it's a luxury to have these type of guys to fall back on, even when I'm on the field and I need advice. I need to know, what you think about this? You know what I mean? So credit to Taryn, and that's why I wanted to make sure that he enjoyed the spotlight with everyone. He didn't want to speak at the prize presentation. He didn't want to lift the trophy. I told him he don't have a choice. You want to do that good of a job, you gotta be part of it as well. So testament to him, but also the players, because at the end of the day, you then gotta shift your energy to a different captain. And the thing about me was I'm not someone that stands on the sideline and is barking orders out because I'm off the field. You know, I allowed Taryn to do what he wanted to do, but I also have the confidence to know that they're not going to go out there and completely switch up the plan from whatever it was beforehand. But also it's the confidence of knowing that they could get the job done. So me and coach sat there, and like I said, it was about letting them do what they felt was best on the field. You know, they're going to be able to assess what's needed better than I could, especially because I was in and out. I missed most of the second innings anyway. But yeah, so testament to him, you know, it just shows where we're at as a team right now, where it's like there's so many experienced campaigners in our team that anybody could come in and step up and take over a role.
And that draws our Cup Match Highlight Special to a close. I want to say thank you to Jordan and thank you to all of our guests for joining us tonight. We've had Neil Painter, the president of St. George's Cricket Club. We've had Frank Amaral from One Communications. We've had Wendell Smith, the coach of St. George's Cricket Club, Anias Bascom, Chris Douglas, and you, most importantly. We want to say thank you for joining us. We hope to see you next year. And until then, I'm Sean Tucker here with Jason Ford, your Voice of Summer team, saying thank you for joining us. We'll see you next year.
And as they start to make the way, will be Chris Douglas and Taryn Frey. Short and Douglas is hooking. He is hooking. First ball, back, 6 runs for Chris Douglas.
Go for it.
St. George's! Thank you guys so much.
What up, son?
They're definitely communicating with the other cameras on the field, and what's going on right now is the switch in between. I actually love this because I never got a chance to see.
All right, this is the part that nobody sees. This is the pack-up time. Just pure wires.
And when the girl them telele and shadow dingole, I hear this one from say, we are the sound
Up Somerset!
Up St. George's!
Now we know where to leave. We draw the line, and we know that it's only for 2 days.
One word to the guys, be careful. When you start quoting the lady, I didn't do that. Ask her what team she sticks up for. So you'll be on the right path going forward, but bless God, he's in the middle of our lives, so we always come out winners.
Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. I know we're having a good time, right? Oh yeah. We believe that in this moment, this year, we're gonna win. This entire island, we're gonna win. This is a new song. Sickness won't give up, but frustration couldn't take me out. Injustice couldn't fall.